So, as you can see in this table, we have different modals. We have modals, their meaning, and examples. So let's see just some examples. Then you can continue the table alone. The first one, we have must and have to. So these modals, their meaning is obligation. So when you say something is necessary. Example, you must study hard, which means it's an obligation. It is necessary to study hard. Do you have a choice? No, you have no choice. Okay, it is an obligation. You must. The opposite of obligation is lack of obligation, when something is not necessary. So we express this using don't have to, needn't, don't need to. For example, when you say you don't have to go fast, we have plenty of time. So imagine yourself with your, for example, family in a car, and your parents is driving fast. So you say we have a lot of time, so it's fine if we don't. Okay, if we drive just slowly, because we have time, and there is no obligation. It's not necessary to drive fast. Okay, now what you should pay attention to is this. We have another must. Okay, but it does not express obligation. It expresses something else. It expresses certainty. So look, please, must, it expresses the meaning is certainty. Look at this example. This restaurant is always full of people. It must be a good one. So what do you have here in this example? We don't have obligation. We have here something called proof, evidence, certainty. You are certain that this restaurant is good. What makes you certain? What is your proof? Or what is your evidence? It's because this restaurant is always full of people. So a lot of people come to this restaurant. So what do you say? You say, it's good. If it's not good, no one will come to this restaurant. But since it is good one, so it's always full of people. Always there are people, there are clients in this restaurant. So here we have a kind of deduction. You deduce something. We have a kind of results. You make a result. You make a deduction. You make a conclusion. Okay? So you make a conclusion from a proof, from an evidence. So if there is no evidence, you cannot make a proof. You cannot say just like this restaurant is good. So what makes it good? Who says that? How do you know that? But here I have the evidence. What is it? It's this restaurant is always full of people. So what I conclude here, what is the conclusion? It must be good one. What does it mean it must be a good one? It means it is certain, or I am certain that this restaurant is good, or I am sure that this restaurant is a good one. Let's move to another one here, and this time this can't. It's the opposite of must. Okay, so negative deduction. It means negative deduction. And look at this example. This restaurant is always empty. It can't be good. So again, here we have a kind of evidence. What do we say? This restaurant is always empty. It means that no one comes to this restaurant. Is it going to be a good one? Of course not. So there is no one. Okay, no one comes to this restaurant. So as a conclusion, you say, since no one comes to this restaurant, it means it can't be a good one. Okay, it's not like the first one. You make a comparison between now must and can't. Look at the first one. This restaurant is always full of people. It must be a good one. Okay, so I am sure. I'm sure it's a good one. And the one with can't, this restaurant is always empty. It can't be good. So that means it can't be good. It means I am sure this restaurant is not good. It doesn't mean I am not sure. No, I am sure this restaurant is not good. And they have an evidence. It's because the restaurant is always empty. Okay, so you pay attention please to these ones. Okay, pay attention to these ones. And concerning the other ones, concerning can, can't, can, may, mustn't, may, can, and we are going to do them next time. Okay, and now we move to should, the last one, or mustn't, sorry, mustn't. So concerning mustn't, it's not the opposite of must. Just to understand this, it's not the opposite. It means something. It means prohibition, which means when you are not allowed to do something. For example, you mustn't use your phone at the mosque. Can you talk in your phone at the mosque? Of course not. You cannot use it. It's forbidden. Okay? It's prohibited. It's not permitted. And thirdly, you cannot use it. Okay? ممنوع. You cannot use it. Why? Because there is a rule. Okay? There is a rule. كاين قانون. Okay? So when there is a rule, so you cannot use this phone. Of course. Fine. Concerning should, the last one. Look at the last one in this table. Should. I think you know this word. Another synonym is ought to, and it's pronounced oughta. So this one we use it for advice. You should read this book. You will like it. Okay, is it necessary to read this book? No. You can choose. You can read it or not. It's your choice. It's your opinion. You can read it. If you don't want to read it, there is no problem. But if you read it, you will like it. So you should read this book. I am just advising you. I am just giving you some advice to read this book because I read it myself and I find it good. So I advise you to read this book. The opposite of should is should not. Okay? Should not. Good. Okay, in this exercise, it's going to show us our understanding of what we studied before. So you have to match. For example, you read sentences and match everyone with its meaning. For example, I can't type 50 words a minute. So what does it mean? Is this negative deduction, obligation, no obligation? So you have to choose. And the same for the others. So for this exercise, you choose just the ones that we studied, which means you choose obligation, lack of obligation, certainty, negative deduction, prohibition, and advice. That's it. Okay, so this practice here, you will fill in the blanks with the with the modals that you have there in the list. You have don't have, can't, mustn't, must, should, must, and should. Okay, it's should. So some modals here, you can use them twice. Okay, for example, you can use them twice. We have must, which means we have obligation and certainty. Good luck. See you after the exercise.